But I did bring guests today.
Who did you bring today?
I brought,
Is that you?
it is. I brought Katrina Foster with me from KKPR, it's a marketing firm, recently relocated here to Statesville with her husband,
Excellent.
her puppy, and her new puppy, Princess Charlotte, who is super cute. So we're excited to have her here. So thank you.
Welcome.
Good morning. Thanks for having me. You're
It's
welcome.
good to see you. There you are.
Yeah, that puppy was fun wrangling this morning while I was trying to get out the door since she is only just turned 12 weeks old.
Oh, brand new.
Yeah, they were like, get a puppy, it'll be fun. No.
Where did you relocate from?
So I'm originally from the Northeast. I lived in Pennsylvania, and my business was primarily in Pennsylvania, New York, and New Jersey. I had an office in Manhattan for a couple of years as well, and my husband is a Jersey guy through and through.
A Jersey guy.
He is a Jersey guy.
Was he sad that the Jets did not win this weekend?
He is, oddly enough, not a Jets fan.
Oh.
Okay. Not 100% George either. I'm just kidding. Okay.
I will not tell him you said
I
that.
don't tell him I said that. I love him.
He's actually a Dallas Cowboys fan.
Well, then he was pretty happy then.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's really interesting because we'll walk, when everybody was masked up, he has a Dallas Cowboys mask. And like everywhere we go here, and he has that mask on, everybody looks at him funny.
Like, what? Wow.
My mother's
Yeah.
husband, he's a huge Dallas Cowboys fan too. So
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. So KKPR. So where did that come from?
Gosh, I haven't had that question in a really long time.
Well, I'm really old. So.
So I have been in business for actually going on 16 years. And when I first started my agency, I was really young, and I was like, it's going to be Conceptual Creations with both K's. Nobody could spell it. Oh. I was like young and very creative, and I was like, this is what it's going to be. And so like about a year and a half later, I rebranded to just KKPR.
It sounds impressive. I like it.
I thought it had Katrina in the name for sure. I was like, wonder what the second K stands for. Katrina.
People
maybe.
used to ask me if my business partner's name was something with a K, and I was like, I don't have a business partner. It is me.
That's right. So what is KKPR? It says branding and public relations.
Well, so my agency is actually an award-winning full-service marketing communications company. So what that means is we historically will work with a company, figure out what their goals are, and help them get there, right, from a sales and marketing perspective. So we'll often help them get to the next level or just start marketing, and then figure out what all those pieces are, whether it's rebranding or branding, because a lot of small companies don't tend to understand what branding is. It's email marketing, it's digital advertising, it's blogging, it's web development. It's all of the pieces underneath the marketing umbrella. But what we tend to do is put them all together in a cohesive strategy and then execute it. Because again, there are a lot of companies that have just a marketing director and they have no one else in their marketing team, or they don't have a marketing person, or on and on and on and on. In today's world, marketing is such a big piece of the puzzle and a very time-consuming piece of the puzzle. Especially with social media and everything changing so quickly with the never-ending pandemic and communicating that messaging, that it often makes a lot more sense for a company, even a small company, to hire out to an agency that is doing that all day, every day, right? They know what's happening, they know it's changing, and they are quick and nimble to get that out for you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'm exhausted because everything you said is so true about all of the elements of.
It is. I mean, if you look at all the different ways you can market it, radio is an advertising option for marketing. But radio itself has always been terrible at marketing itself,
Oh, yes.
as always,
That's a good
Yes.
point.
always. And most radio stations, if they're big enough, they have a promotions department.
Yeah.
Really don't have a marketing department. They have a promotions department. And they do all the tchotchkes and remotes and things like that. But it's really not, well, let's buy some billboards.
Right.
And that's generally, or they got into buying TV commercials a lot, but they don't do that very much anymore.
Well, I got to tell you, in the the near 2 decades, it's so disgusting that I can say that.
Yes, that's right.
Been in business, I've seen radio change immensely,
Yes.
right? So when I first got into the business, there was program directors and promotions departments and marketing departments on a lot of radio stations. And then as radio and the landscape for media outlets changed, so did radio. Promotions departments went away. But program directors kind of also started wearing like 6 other hats.
Yes.
And, radio has changed a lot.
Yes.
In the Northeast, I had a really good friend of mine and a mentor for quite a number of years. He owns Bold Gold Media. And he has like 15 radio stations. He continues to buy other stations. He's in Hillsdale College,
Right.
et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And what he's always managed to do was market himself, right? And I think that that's hard for smaller stations.
It is.
Like where I come from, there's the Entercoms and the Clear channels. They're all they're
right.
all around each other, and so a smaller cluster of stations, it really has to figure out how to differentiate themselves
Right.
from those, right?
That's right.
And probably like you guys, it's about the community and
That's
what
right.
you're doing for the community and how involved you are with the
That's right.
community.
Agreed with that.
Yeah.
And that's what our niche has to be. I mean, that's
Yeah.
what we try to super serve our town, our community is what we do. So that's it. But if we've got I don't know, if we've got a clothing store which is right across from us or something like that, everybody, no matter what it is, everybody talks about social media now. And what do you do? What do you do? We need to be on social media. What does that mean?
Oh gosh. Oh, you're asking me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought you were telling me a story.
Oh, no.
Sorry. Honestly, it's different for every business, and so many, I think the common mistake that businesses make is that they have to be on everything.
Yeah.
And they don't. The reality is that they need to know who their target market is, right? And if, their target market is 45 to 60, you certainly don't need to be on Snapchat.
Because I'm not there, I promise.
Yeah.
You don't.
Maybe filters every now
Yeah, and if you're not, you shouldn't take on more than either you can handle or that you're able to afford an agency to handle, right? Because if you're on 16 platforms, I don't know how many there are at this point. You're not doing them well. What's the point? The point of social media is to be social. So if you're not doing that, you're doing yourself a disservice. So just being on social media, however they think that means, is not the answer.
Yeah. That's what, people say that, and it's so ambiguous, I guess, what it is. You just don't, people just don't know.
Well, and I think there's been a real tipping point as of late, right? It used to be that, social media was the new big thing and everybody had to be on it, and that was how you got seen. But now a lot of the social media platforms, they keep changing their algorithm. With the pandemic, all of the major companies were coding very quickly to get their people out of office, and the code is not really wonderful, and so everything is getting flagged as political stuff or inappropriate, and it's it's about t-shirts or so being seen on social media from a business perspective has gotten a lot harder, right? And so people still have that mindset, I just have to be on social media, but what they don't understand is that in order to really be seen, they need a really good mix, right? Radio could be in their mix, TV could be the things that seem to kind of go by the wayside by all the new technology. that new technology isn't that new anymore, and they really need to start looking at what the mix is and looking at some of the more traditional things that have changed, right? Their, their direction and what they're doing to really market themselves properly.
So we call Katrina. Go ahead and answer it. I don't know if that's a call for us or not. We'll just have to see.
Hey there, go ahead, caller.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey there, is this the home ad show?
No, wrong place. But thanks for calling.
Thanks for calling.
All right, so it's all right.
Kept calling and kept. I just figured I'd answer
thing.
because
Might have had a caller.
well,
That's right.
it kept ringing and kept ringing and kept
I know.
ringing. So
Is that,
So-
what did she? I'm sorry. Never mind.
So if I call Katrina
Yeah.
and I want Katrina to help me with my business, what happens?
Well, we set a meeting, and it, I guess similar to what you would do with any other business, right? Whether you're hiring a plumber or, someone else, we get together and we talk about, why you're considering working with me, right? Like, what is it that made you give me a call or send me an email or fill out my web form? And then we just kind of talk through where you want to go and how we can help you get there, and what does that look like within your budget, right? Because which I think makes so much more sense if you have a budget in mind and go to an agency. Because if you're like, I don't know what my budget is, well, if you don't tell me what it is, I can't help you spend it well, right? If you come to me and you're like, well, just tell me what you think it's going to cost. I mean, I'm going to give you probably a really big number because I'm
Sure.
going to add in advertising. I'm going to add in everything because that's really what most businesses need, right? But if you tell me, oh, well, my budget is X a month, we can look at really how we're going to help you get to that next level or reach your goal.
So, the old adage, you hear it all the time. Well, the best thing is word of mouth.
If you build it, they will come.
Yeah, that's another one.
Favorite quote in a movie, though.
That's right. And maybe that's true for like McDonald's. You put a McDonald's up, well, they're going to say, know what that is, so you probably won't have a problem. But if you're like, Billy Buck's place, they're like, what in the heck is that?
Well, so to me, that for some businesses, yeah, that may be true. That's how you're keeping your doors open. But how are you growing?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how you're keeping your door. I mean, is that just you just want to maintain? Do you just want to get by, or what is your purpose? What are your goals? I mean, if you want to grow, you gotta grab life by the horns, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I personally hate those two quotes, adages. They drive me nuts because I'm like, okay, well, cool. You just keep on keeping on then.
And then I looked through I was on your Facebook page, but I'm on your website now, which is very pink. And so Northeast female-led digital marketing communications agency finds a home in Statesville. That's a great press release. Actually, it's a blog, so you have different blogs on different things. So I wish I'd gone through here and read that before you came. Then I would know what I'm talking about. But it sounds like I'm brainstorming on the air. Sounds like she would have it would be a great opportunity for her to do a workshop.
Yes, we love our locals to do workshops.
I'm sure she would work out a reasonable rate.
You know what the chamber rate is?
Yeah, I do.
Katrina.
So actually, it would.
We would love that. That would be an awesome
It would be
idea.
great to
Start thinking
do a
on it.
marketing 101 type of thing for small
We
business.
do those quite a bit. We always are open for our members to share their knowledge with other locals. So,
Oof, I got a lot of it. Just have to
Tons of knowledge.
let me know which area you want me to
Well, I
focus
was going to
on.
see. Yeah,
and
maybe-
Billy's going to sign up, right, Billy?
Well, absolutely. Well, when we get to services, you click on services, and the drop down is branding and design, or digital marketing, or strategy, or social media, or web development, and the list goes on and on and on.
I want to bring up too. We didn't really haven't talked about this, but you also do just some side consulting as well.
Yes.
Kind of beyond the.
So I also do some consulting. There's been a handful of times where companies they're not quite ready to hire an agency, but they really don't know what their next steps are, right? Or what they should be doing. So I will do consulting for small businesses. I recently did quite a bit of it in the last year, like randomly. Like a couple of businesses called my agency and they're like, we don't think we can afford to work with an agency, which is often a misnomer, right? That's not necessarily the case.
Right.
But, we're getting ready to launch this new class series and we need to know what we should be doing and la, la, la. And so, I taught a couple social media classes to their team and on and on and on. And one of the things that I really love about what we do is strategy. Interestingly enough, I've owned 4 businesses in the last 10 years. This is the first time in 6 years that I've only owned one business. My husband is very happy about that.
I'm sure.
So I really love the strategy piece of how everything fits together and how to make it better and how to grow and, really take companies to the next level. That's my favorite part.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very good. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
And if we want to find out more, of course, it's really cool. This is a marketing strategy. It's keep your web address simple. KKPR.com.
Actually,
Ta-da.
it's KKM as in Mary,
Oh,
PR.
sorry, M. There's an M in there.
Yes, because
Yes,
there is a radio station in the Midwest, KKPR.
I got it. So,
That was long before me.
oh yes, KKMPR,
Yes.
which actually rolls better off the tongue.
Yeah.
KKMPR.com, and then also find on Facebook at KKPR. Is that it? KKPR?
Marketing and public relations.
Yes, on Facebook. Just look for pink. It's very pink. And I would say wish you lots of luck, but you're already there.
Yes. Thank you so
And
much.
doing
And thank
very
you
well.
for having me on this morning. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate it very much.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Ms. Vieira.
My pleasure. Always
We'll-
fun.